Look around you. The ground beneath your feet feels permanent. The oceans seem endless. The mountains appear as if they have always existed, and the sky above you feels like a silent, unchanging background to human life. But this world you know is only a tiny moment in Earth's story. Before cities covered the land, before humans walked upright, before the first words were ever spoken, Earth was a planet that would seem almost alien to us, a world of fire, ice, poisonous skies, giant creatures, and landscapes that no human has ever witnessed. If you could travel back millions of years, you would not recognize the planet beneath your feet. The continents would be in the wrong places. The air would feel different. The oceans would contain creatures beyond imagination. And the strangest part, the Earth we live on today was created by billions of years of destruction, survival, and impossible accidents. Our entire civilization, every human achievement, every story ever told, exists in the final few seconds of Earth's enormous timeline, because before there were humans, there was another Earth, a planet that was constantly changing, a planet that almost never looked the same twice. To understand this forgotten world, we have to go back further than human memory, further than civilization, further than any written record. We have to travel back 4.5 billion years. At this time, Earth was not the beautiful blue planet we know today. It was a violent newborn world. The surface was a sea of molten rock. Volcanoes erupted across the planet. Asteroids crashed into the surface, carrying minerals, chemicals, and perhaps even the ingredients needed for life. The sky was thick with gases. There were no forests, no animals, no oceans filled with fish. Nothing moved except fire, storms, and endless geological chaos. Standing on early Earth would be impossible. The ground beneath you would melt. The atmosphere would poison you. The planet would feel less like home and more like another world entirely. But slowly, something extraordinary happened. Earth began to cool. Water vapor collected in the atmosphere and fell as rain for thousands, perhaps millions of years. Imagine a planet covered by endless storms, rain falling over a world with no humans to watch it, no cameras, no witnesses, just a silent transformation happening over unimaginable amounts of time. Those ancient oceans became the birthplace of the first life, not animals, not plants, not anything we would recognize. Tiny microscopic organisms appeared. For billions of years, life remained invisible. While humans today build skyscrapers and explore space, Earth's earliest living creatures spent almost all of history hidden beneath the surface of oceans. And this is where the story becomes strange. For most of Earth's existence, humans would have seemed impossible. The planet survived billions of years without us. Life survived without us. The world did not need humans to continue. In fact, for nearly 99.9% of Earth's history, our species was not even a possibility. But then came one of the greatest transformations in the history of the planet. A tiny organism changed everything. Some microscopic life forms developed a strange ability. They could use sunlight as energy. They began releasing oxygen into the atmosphere. This process, called photosynthesis, slowly transformed Earth. But there was a problem. Oxygen was poisonous to many early organisms. A gas that would eventually allow humans and animals to breathe was once a deadly threat. The planet experienced one of the greatest environmental changes ever recorded. The atmosphere itself was rewritten. The Earth was preparing for something that would not appear for billions of years: complex life. But evolution does not move quickly. It works through tiny changes over enormous periods of time. A single generation changes almost nothing. A million generations can create a completely different world. And then, around 540 million years ago, something extraordinary happened. Scientists call it the Cambrian Explosion. Suddenly, life became more complex. Animals with bodies, eyes, shells, and movement began appearing. The oceans became a battlefield of survival. Creatures hunted, escaped, adapted, and evolved. The world was no longer silent. It was alive, but Earth was still nothing like the planet we know. There were no forests covering the continents, no birds flying through the sky, no mammals hiding in the shadows. Only strange creatures in ancient oceans. Then, plants began moving onto land, and this changed everything. Plants transformed empty landscapes into green worlds. They created new environments. They changed the atmosphere. They created opportunities for new forms of life. Slowly, animals followed. The first creatures crawled from water onto land. They entered a world full of possibility and danger. Imagine being one of the first animals to leave the ocean. Behind you is the familiar world of water. Ahead of you is an unknown continent, a place with no roads, no shelter, no food waiting for you, only empty land. But evolution rewards those willing to survive in new environments. Over millions of years, these pioneers transformed into reptiles, insects, and eventually the ancestors of many animals alive today. Then came one of Earth's most famous eras, the Age of Giants. For more than 150 million years, dinosaurs dominated the planet, but the world they lived in would look completely unfamiliar. The continents were connected differently. The climate was warmer. Massive forests covered the land. Some dinosaurs were larger than buildings. Others were fast hunters with sharp instincts. They were not monsters. They were successful survivors. For millions of years, they ruled a planet where humans had no place. And then, everything changed. A giant asteroid struck Earth. In a moment, a world that had existed for millions of years began collapsing. The skies darkened. Temperatures changed. Food chains broke apart. Many species disappeared forever. But extinction is not only an ending. Sometimes it creates opportunities. When the dinosaurs vanished, another group of animals began rising. Mammals. Small creatures that had once lived in the shadows suddenly entered a world with empty spaces waiting to be filled. Over millions of years, they evolved into countless forms. Whales entered the oceans. Bats entered the skies. Primates climbed through forests. And eventually, one branch of primates began something completely unexpected. A creature capable of looking back at its own history. A creature capable of asking, where did we come from? Humans, but compared to Earth's timeline, we arrived almost at the very end. If Earth's entire history was compressed into a single day, humans would appear only in the final seconds before midnight. The pyramids, ancient kingdoms, wars, discoveries, and technology that feels so enormous to us would happen in less than a blink. And yet, in this tiny moment, humans changed the planet more than any species before us. We built cities where forests once stood. We created machines that can travel beyond Earth. We changed rivers, oceans, and the atmosphere. We became the first species capable of understanding the story of the planet that created us. But there is a strange question hidden inside this achievement. Are we the final chapter of Earth's story? Or just another temporary moment? Because Earth's history is filled with powerful species that seemed unstoppable. The dinosaurs ruled for over 150 million years. They disappeared. Many creatures dominated their environments. They disappeared. The planet continues. Life continues. But individual species come and go. The Earth before humans teaches us something uncomfortable. This planet does not belong to us. We are visitors on a world that existed for billions of years before we arrived. The mountains beneath our feet have seen oceans rise and disappear. The rocks around us contain the memories of extinct worlds. Every breath we take is connected to ancient life forms that transformed the atmosphere billions of years ago. Every tree, every animal, every human being is part of a story that began before anyone was here to witness it. And maybe the most amazing discovery is not that Earth existed before humans. Maybe the most amazing discovery is that after billions of years of chaos, extinction, and survival, the universe created a species capable of looking back and wondering about it all. A species that can hold the entire history of its planet inside its mind. A species that can ask questions about the past while deciding what happens next. Because somewhere beneath every city, beneath every road, beneath every place humans have built, there is an older Earth, a forgotten planet of fire, oceans, forests, and giants, a world that disappeared, but never truly left. It is still here, inside the rocks, inside the oceans, inside every living thing, and inside you.